From Meta to Facebook to MySpace to Napster, talk about the whole social network. Let's specifically talk about the movie. Let's go back in time a little bit.
Correction, it's the Facebook. Remember when it was
right.
the Facebook?
The Facebook.
The Facebook.
Then it got dropped.
Yeah, of course. Well,
now we're calling it Meta.
Yeah, Timberlake, right? Yeah. He had a mate. That was his role in the social network. Drop the word the. Just Facebook.
Drop the. Just Facebook. It's clear.
We just watched a scene where there's an intense deposition between one of the founders of Facebook and
One of the co-founders of Facebook.
Essentially, and where Mark Zuckerberg tried to essentially start a new corporation, dilute current shares of the pre-existing corporation, which was the Facebook or Facebook, whatever it was, and then in doing so, they diluted one person's shares who owned essentially 30% of Facebook, and essentially try to cut him out. And the scene is, the guy's name is Eduardo, and he comes in, and essentially the Facebook lawyers, hand him papers. They say, sign this. You're pretty much no longer on the masthead of Facebook, and walk away. You're gone. And the best part about that whole scene is Eduardo turns around to Zuckerberg and says, "You better lawyer up because I'm coming after everything."
Well, no, he was wired in.
Oh, he was wired in.
Yeah.
Mark! He's wired in. Sorry? He's wired in. Is he? Yes. About now, you're still wired in? You better lawyer up, ass. Because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
Business ownership, dilution of shares, how whether it's legal or not. You deal a lot with it with businesses that you deal with. I see a lot with it. Is it legal? Is it not? And can it be settled in court or out of court? And what's the reality of this actually leading to something that's quote unquote justice for the person who's just been diluted?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the situation here at Facebook. How does that happen? You have the guy who's supposedly 30% owner, and he's the business guy of it, and he lets something happen. I mean, clearly you're dealing with $1 million business, or millions of dollars of business, or $1 billion company, whatever it was at that time.
Yeah.
And you don't have an attorney to guide you and advise you. By the way, these are the good parts, the bad parts about moving this company over to, I believe they formed a C Corp.
Well, they formed a C Corp out of Delaware. I think the corporation originally formed in Florida. Then they formed a C Corp in Delaware. And the way that the C Corp is, I look at C Corp is different than an S Corp. It really has to do with tax filings and whether or not the corporation or the shareholders pay taxes. Talk to your accountant about that. We're not accountants. But anyway, so what they did was they formed a C Corp in Delaware. They mass-produced an enormous amount of shares, like 24 million shares, and then they just started distributing shares to everybody. Everybody's shares increased, except for this one co-founder, Eduardo's shares, and he went from 30% ownership to like 0.03%.
And what was your ownership share diluted down to?
0.03%.
Essentially having no financial means.
They were better off giving him a little bit, because this way they could have said, well, we divvied it out, amongst the way we saw fit, instead of giving everybody something, giving him nothing, because I think that hurt Zuckerberg's defense and the rest of Facebook's defense.
I mean, the deposition is clear. The lawyers, they hammer it, in defense against Zuckerberg, and now it's. I think it's public news that the gentleman who was involved, the founding of Facebook, is worth close to $30 billion. So I don't know if we feel bad for him now financially, but the reality of it is it doesn't always work like this. A lot of business owners do get cut out. I deal with situations where business owners just unilaterally close down and dissolve a business without telling their partners, hey, Rich,
yeah,
sorry, business is closed. You can't do that. And again, if you're able to have lawyers that are strong enough to negotiate outside of court, then that's what you do, right? And you try to figure out a resolution. What do they say about a settlement? If nobody
makes all parties unhappy, then it's a good settlement.
Exactly. If nobody's happy, it's a good settlement, right? Whether you're on one side or the other, you don't want to hear that. You always want the best settlement possible. But in this situation, he clawed back some percentage of ownership. He clawed back a massive cash payout, and then I think now he still holds a percentage of ownership as well. So, all in all, it ended up working out for him, but it could have went the other way very quickly. In that case, he would have not even ever been connected with Facebook. So know what you're signing before you sign it. Have a lawyer read it over, and make sure somebody reviews it on your behalf.
Right, because once you sign it, you're locked into what you sign. especially if you're over the age of majority and you have the faculties to understand what you should be signing, things like that. It's not whether you're aware. That's not the obligation is on you to either get help to read it or to read it thoroughly and make sure you do so before signing.
Yeah, and hopefully you never have a business partner or partners that put something in front of you and expect you to sign it blindly, right?
Oh, speaking of that, can you sign this?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, sure. I sign it blindly because that's how you could essentially get, rolled over. But
Correct.
Essentially, read all your documents, make sure your business is set up, like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you think about this situation or this scene, and should he have gotten more? This is a real question.